great changes. Then again, there is a concept of smart cities, smart homes. Now, like if I talk about smart homes, now we everybody knows about Alexa and Siri, in which you just give a command like Alexa, play the music, or switch on the electricity, or whatever command you give, it happens. And similarly, there are various fitness bands, fitness trackers. Now, like for example, if I talk about fitness tracker, now it is a fitness band which is applied on your wrist, and you can track your fitness. How, like you get all the data in your mobile phone, how much running you have done, and how you track in form of calories, which means how much calories you have burnt and how much more exercise you have to do for doing the proper physical exercise. So basically, this is all about digital transformation. And again, why I was talking about digital transformation and the uses of internet, to tell you the importance of cyber security. Why? Because every day we are seeing in news also, news related to the frauds, hacking, data theft through various viruses, and different types of news is being heard. And that's why security becomes very important. So basically, what is cyber security? Cyber security is used to protect users, individuals from cyber crime, in which the user's data is provided securely. Then again, cyber security is the practice of defending computers, servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, networks, and data from malicious attacks. And if we talk about the term cyber security, it is made up of two terms, cyber and security. So what is basically cyber? So anything which has a relationship with computers, information technology, and in all aspects of computing, like things related to data, like storing the data, then transferring the data, accessing the data, and linking the data. Everything which is related to computers, information technology, data storing, data transmission is termed as cyber. Means the moment you will click on, you switch on your data from the internet, you get connected with the internet, you are in a cyber space. Now, to what are the protections you are providing to your smart phones or your laptops by installing antiviruses, or whatever the protections which various companies and organizations are attempting for securing their networks and servers from any cyber attacks, is termed as security. So basically, this is what is called as cyber security. So it is very important to for an individual and for companies and organizations to prevent theft from hackers and from different types of cyber attacks. And again, there are various cyber security professionals and experts are there to provide you to provide you security. And again, basically, so I hope the definition is clear with each and every participant that cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. In other words, protection of network computer systems from the theft or damage to their hardware, software, or electronic data from unauthorized access. Now, moving forward with the next topic, which is introduction to personal data. So it is very important as of now that first we should know that how we can prevent ourselves from any cyber attack. What is the thing, or what are the different types of data which we are having, and again, which is very important and critical for us, and how it becomes a target for cyber criminals. So first of all, there are two types of identities. But first is the online identity, and second is the offline identity. So if I ask you a very simple question that how you are identified at your home, at your workplace, or in your locality, what is that one thing because of which you are being identified? So anybody can answer this particular question. It's very simple and very easy question. What is that one thing through which you are identified at your place, your school, college, or at your locality? What is that one thing? Yes, please respond. Yeah, very good, Ishwarya. So very good, Ishwarya. I can see you are initiating and you are responding to each and every questions. Very good, Ishwarya. Please keep this habit. Great. Pooja is also saying the answer. So the answer is name. Very rightly said. And Soumya is also saying name. So what we can see that name is the only one thing through which you are identified at all the places and where you go. But again, your name, so all those documents in which there is your name, all those documents becomes your offline identity. And along with your name, there are some other information, like for example, if you talk about Aadhaar card, along with your name, there is your father's name, there is your home address, sometimes your mobile number. And then if we talk about your passport, or if we talk about your bank passbook, है ना? So along with your name, address, there is your bank account details also, है ना? So all those documents like your license, even your mark sheets, and all those documents becomes very important, and they become your offline identity. Now what may happen? It may happen that, for example, if you are at some other place, है ना, you are out of station, है ना, and at some place you lost your, you get lost your license or your Aadhaar card. So what may happen, that particular Aadhaar card, it can be uh, connected, it can be taken by any stranger, you know? And that stranger, by getting your Aadhaar card, they can locate your address, and it may be possible that you can, they can come to your location. And it may happen, like for example, if there is nobody at your home, and so the stranger, they may have some wrong intentions, so they can enter your room and they can do whatever theft they want to do. So it may happen, but this usually doesn't happen, but again this may happen. So basically all those documents in which there is your name, your address, and your personal details, bank account details, or related things, all those documents becomes your offline identity. And we usually try to make sure that all those documents are protected, because they reveals your identity. Now second is the online identity. So what is your online identity? So the moment you click on, you switch on your data from your internet, or you get connected to the internet through any Wi-Fi or through hotspot, you are in the cyberspace, and your global identity is created. And a global identity means you are identified that, but through that particular identity, you are identified at all over the world if you are in the internet space or you are in the cyber space. Now, what is that particular thing? That is the IP address. So, a small question: do you know about IP address, and do you know how you can get to know that what is your IP address? So whenever you are in a cyberspace, through your IP address, you are being identified globally. Okay. So I am just sharing my. See, there are various methods, but I just want to know from you. Anybody knows how you can know your IP address? See, there are various methods. The first method is you can just go to a command prompt, and there is a command which is IP config and enter. So you will see your IP address. Again, I am also showing, like for example, I want to know my IP address. What I will do, I will just visit Google. Just a minute, I'm just sharing the screen, and you can just write what is my IP. In that case, you will see your IP address. Basically, there are two types of IP addresses: IP version 4 and IP version 6. And again, I'll just show you a small practical demonstration in which you will understand the importance of IP addresses and related things. So here you can see this is my IP address. Just a minute. So the main difference between IP version 4 and IP version 6 is IP version 4 is a 32-bit address, and IP version 6 is a 128 bits address. Guys, please let me know because my system is hanging. Am I clear, audible, and you can see the presentation?
Yes, sir. Everything is fine, sir. Please carry on.
Okay. So here you can see this is my IP address, IP version 4 and IP version 6. In future, we will be seeing that IP version 4 will be removed and there will be only IP version 6. So this is my global identity whenever I am over the internet. And in case I commit any particular type of crime, through this IP address, I can be traced and I can be located. If in case I do any type of crime. And again, you might have seen there are various examples uh, which have been there related to cyber crime. Like for example, I hope you might have heard the news related to Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma's daughter. There was a person who has commented some things related to Virat Kohli's daughter. And when the cyber department police cells searched for that person, they find that person from a very big IT software company, and he was highly educated. But see, again, that particular person got get means get caught. Why? Because through their IP addresses, and the cyber department has cyber cell has located traced that particular location. And how it was possible? Because of this particular IP address only. So because of that only, we should never comment any wrong things in any social media platform, or we should not visit any fake or malicious websites. And again, because cyber criminals share various types of links, and during the festival times, what happens? Like for example, Diwali, Holi, or New Year, and or any during the festivals, what happens? You see a lot of messages by different ways, like messages in your SMS, through Facebook, or through Gmails, and you see various types of links are being shared. And again, there is an attractive message which shows that you have won a lottery, or like for example, currently KBC is going on, so a lot of phishing emails or phishing messages is being sent to various users. And what we usually do, what we just we click on that particular link just to know what happens, you know? And the moment we click on that particular link, a lot of personal details are being shared and we doesn't know about it. Then what happens? When we see that this particular website, it is a fake website or a malicious website, then what we do, we just close that particular website, or we just press the back button. And then what we think that now we are safe, you know? So practical is I'll just demonstrate a practical, so that you get aware, about the links, that you should never click on any fake or malicious link. Okay, so I'll just create a scenario over here, like the scenario which is being created by cyber criminals or anybody. So see, this is the IP version 6 and IP version 4. IP version 6 is demonstrated by separated by dots, and it is represented by numbers. IP version 6 is a hexadecimal representation. It is represented by numbers and combination of alphabets, because hexadecimal number is a alphanumeric representation, and it is separated by colons. Okay, and here you can see my ISP, means my internet service provider, because I am using Reliance Geo Fiber for internet connection. You can see my location also. So the scenario over here which I am creating is like, for example, this is the website of NIT Foundation, and for example, I have created this particular website of NIT Foundation, and I just want to have a feedback. Like for example, students, please share, please visit this particular website, and please share your feedbacks that you like this particular website or not. So this is the scenario which I am creating as of now, and now I will be sharing a link of this particular website. So what you have to do from your end, you have to click on this particular link, and you have to tell me that are you able to see the same web page, or are you able to visit this particular website or not, or what is happening when you are clicking on this particular link. Okay, so just give me a minute. I am sharing a link in the chat box. So guys, I have shared the link in the chat box. Now I would request all the participants to click on this particular link, and please let me know in the chat box that what is happening. So I'm just giving you a minute's time, and please then share your feedback. So yes, guys, please respond. What is happening? Are you seeing the same web page or any other website, or are you able to go to that website or not? Okay, Jivika is saying yes, sir. Great. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for doing this. Okay. Now, see, first of all, okay. Okay, it's okay. Now, please stop responding. Okay, just come back over here and see. First of all, please see that the website, the link which I have shared, okay, is of NIT Foundation. But before I have said that I am sharing the link. But see, what I have done, when I was sharing that particular link, I have modified that particular link, and I have shared the modified link. Now, if you see the website of NIT Foundation, and you can see over here also, the website of NIT Foundation is www.nitfoundation.org. But the link which I have shared, since I have modified that particular link, So if you would have been aware, no, if you would have been aware, you would have asked, sir, that in this particular link I don't find nitfoundation.org or anything related to NIT Foundation. So in that case, I was expecting that you may have asked that, sir, why should we click on that particular link? But it's okay, no problem. See why I am telling this, because I'll just show you also. You must know about the various website extensions. Like for example, just now, if you see the extensions, like if I talk about Facebook.com, or if I talk about Flipkart.com or Amazon.com, you will see the extension is .com. Means all these websites are the uh, commercial websites. Okay, so all these are the commercial websites. Similarly, if we talk about any government organization, there will be the extension which is .gov.in or .nic.in. Okay, then if I talk about any school or college or any institute, so their extension is .edu.in or just so these are the extensions of various websites, and like .com for commercial websites. If there is any government organization, so there will be .gov.in and so on. So now see what has happened. Okay, so here you can see what are the most common domains extensions. So these are the most common domains. So if you find any website link, if it is modified, please don't click on that link. Now you can see over here what has happened the moment you have clicked on that particular link. Okay, so you can see over here. So see, as of now, I can see 34 participants have clicked on that particular. Now you can see all those participants who have clicked on that particular link. I have got the date and time the moment you have clicked on that particular link. Similarly, I have also got the IP address of yours. The IP address of yours. You can see over here 1.5.15.4.139.199. I have also got the location, like somebody is from Tripur, somebody is from Chennai. Then I have also got the information about the user agent, like whatever the browser is installed in your laptop or in mobile phone, Mozilla or Android. And I have also got the website. Then again, if I click on this particular tab, just ISP, you can see somebody is accessing Reliance Jio, and somebody is using National Internet Backbone as the internet service provider. And if I click on more information, I may get other information, like for example, the mobile device through which you are accessing or attending this meeting, like somebody is having Vivo Y33, and then again, Mozilla Android 12 operating system is installed in your mobile phones. Then somebody is accessing from Oppo F17, and somebody is accessing from Android 12. So here you can see the moment you have clicked on that particular link, I have got the IP addresses and some other information. Now, what happened or what may happen? And see, I am over here. I am a cyber security instructor trainer. But in case if there would be any cyber criminal who have shared that particular link, and in case you that click on that particular link, so he will got all these information, and it is possible for cyber criminal or various types of hackers to gain access to your computers, laptops, mobile phones, or any network server of any particular organization, just by getting all these information. And in future what they can do, they can blackmail that particular individual, or they can blackmail the very important person of that particular company or organization. So I have shown this practical demonstration. I hope you have understood about the awareness that we should never click on any malicious links or any particular type of website. Why? Because the moment you will click on that particular link, your IP address is shared And since your IP address is your global identity, any type of cyber crime, it is possible that any type of cyber crime can happen. Okay. So guys, please let me know in the chat box. Do you like this practical or do you understood this practical or not in the chat box, so that we can move forward. Thank you, Roshika, Ashwarya. Okay. Just and one request, time now is left for 1 hour, so I would request all the participants to be in the session. Please do not leave the session. In case you don't understand, please feel free to ask. At the end, at 12, we will be taking an attendance, and at that particular time, I would request all the participants to switch on your video cameras, and also I will be sharing a feedback form link. So please fill that feedback form link after the session. Okay. Then next, about your personal data. What is your personal data? Then again, see documents which is related to Aadhaar card, text, your mark sheets. All those documents are very important. But again, there are various other documents, data which is very important and confidential. And again, there are various organizations through whom we also share our personal data. Like for example, medical records. And like for example, whenever you visit a doctor, you might have seen that not just only a receipt, you on your name a new file has been created in which all the things are mentioned, like your age, your height, weight, then your blood group also. So those file also becomes your personal data. Then again, in educational records, whenever all the educational documents are your confidential data. Like again, employment and financial records. Like for example, today you are studying, and tomorrow you will be working for any particular organization, and since you will be working, it's but obvious that you will be getting paid for it. But how you are getting paid? Since you have shared your bank account details, your PAN card details with the employer, and because of that you are getting your salary in your bank accounts. So again it becomes the employment, whoever is your employer, there may be 300 employees, there may be 3000 employees, or 3 lakhs of employees in that particular organization. So it becomes the duty or responsibility of that particular organization to safeguard all the personal details of their employees, so that any employee doesn't face any cyber crime. And next, moving forward, uh, organizational data. So as of now, we have discussed about the personal data. Then moving forward, next is the organizational data. Like what is the data is with organizations which have to be safeguarded. Now, how your personal data becomes a target? What are the things because of which your personal data becomes a target? So over here, you can see a hand is coming out from the laptop and it is taking the purse out from the jeans. So just let me know, is it practically possible? You can respond by saying yes or no. Is it practically possible? You can see an image over here in which a hand is coming out from the laptop and it is taking the purse out. Guys, please respond. Yes, no. Okay, thank you very much, Akila, for your response. See, your answer is right. Whatever you say, no, sir, or yes, sir. See, this is not practically possible, but in this cyber era, we are seeing all these crimes are possible virtually. How and why? Because these cyber criminals, they are finding different ways to do a cyber crime. Like how do the cyber crimes happens? Through only online credentials, through various creative schemes. See what the cyber criminals do. You might have experienced a call from received from any stranger. They say that I'm calling from State Bank of India and I'm the manager of India. You have to share your bank account details or you have to share your credit card or debit card details. If you will not share, then your account or your ATM will get blocked. So if you are quite intelligent, and if you are aware, you will obviously you will switch off that particular phone. But if there is an individual who doesn't know or who is illiterate, but is having a bank account, so what he will think that I have received a call from the State Bank of India, and then he will share the details. So what cyber criminals usually do, first they try to convince the user then after gaining their convincing them, they try to gain their trust, and once they gain their trust, they get all the confidential details and do various types of cyber crimes. And what is the purpose, or what the benefit the cyber criminals will happen? They can have long term profits, they can have medical benefits, they can also file a fake tax return file, then they can also open credit card accounts on their name, and then they can also apply and obtain loans. Then these are some, there are some security principles which is called as a CIA triad. You know what is a CIA triad? This is CI triad is a principle which has to be followed by individuals also, and usually companies and organizations, they follow this particular security principles, which is the CIA triad. Confidentiality means privacy, means all the confidential data as an individual which you are having, or all the confidential data which companies and organizations are having, it must be private. Means access has to begin only to the authentic persons. Okay. Then integrity means whatever the information resources you are having, it must be accurate and from the trustworthy source. Then availability. So again, there are various companies and organizations. So whatever their services they are providing to their customers or users, they must be available 24 into 7. And so this is the CIA triad which every company and organizations follows. Okay. So I have a question over here. If I open any pharmacy or any business through internet, what is the precaution to protect our personal privacy, data, and credit card details? See, there are various protocols which are laid out by NIST. What is NIST? It is the National Institute of Standard Technologies, which gives some rules, regulations, and policies which every organization has to follow to protect themselves from various cyber crimes. So you can go through those NIST guidelines, in which they, like for example, as of now, according to the policy of NIST guidelines, every organization must have a cyber security professional at their corporate offices. Why? Because to protect the organization from various types of cyber attacks. Similarly, there are various policies which are laid out by NIST guidelines, which company has to follow. Okay, because not only that company is means can have an attack, but again the customers related to that particular company or organizations, they have to be protected. Okay. So I hope Nivi, I have answered your questions. Again, there are various antivirus protocols. Then there are various firewall layers, which we will be discussing. And again, there are various appliances also, security appliances, software appliances and hardware appliances, which are installed at various server networks of any particular organization to protect against protect them from any cyber attack. Okay. Next, guys, the topic is the impact of security breach. Okay. So, what is security breach? So, I hope you might have heard this particular breach word. Most of the time, whenever you heard news or whenever you listen any situation related to terrorist activity, that terrorists are entering into our nation, they are breaching the security. And just for an example, like we are having various types of Android phones, so again Android phones, the mobile companies, they are also giving us various options, just to unlock our phone. Why? Because to protect your data, whatever is there in your mobile phone, they are giving your fingerprint scanner, face unlock, and then pattern lock and various other features. Why? Because if anybody or any stranger gets access to your devices, they can steal your data. Similarly, there what can be an impact of a security breach? So for any Yeah, actually, Vinay sir, I just got lost the internet connection. I am just rejoining again.
Yes, you are audible now, sir. Please carry on.
No, I have joined from mobile phone. I am just joining from computer. Joining again from the computer. So, guys, give me a minute. I'm just joining from the laptop.
Yeah,
Just give me a
please
minute.
take care. No worries, please.
Actually, it's raining over here. Because of that, there is internet fluctuations. So, guys, I am back, but I'm switching off my video because of internet connectivity. I hope my voice is clear and audible, and
Yes,
you can
please
see.
carry on. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So there is an impact of security breach. है ना? So we have seen that whenever a terrorist wants to enter in our nation, है ना, they doesn't follow the right path. है ना? It will never happen that a cyber terrorist is entering into a nation with a visa or with a passport. है ना? They always take the other path, like from they might है ना, वो सुरंग खोद के अंदर घुसने की कोशिश करेंगे, या वो पहाड़ों के रास्ते से क्या करेंगे, हमारे देश के अंदर घुसने की कोशिश करेंगे ना. So that is a security breach है ना. So these are some examples in which various companies, organizations, websites have been breached है ना, and cyber criminals have gained the access of the customers of these companies and organizations. Like for example, there was a company named VTech है ना, and what was VTech? VTech was a high tech toy maker company for children's. And what was happened with this organization, their sensitive information got exposed, which includes the customer names, email addresses, passwords, pictures, and chat logs. And because of this, what happened, the hackers were able to create email accounts, and they were able to apply for credit cards, and they can commit crimes. And again, there were various of types of crimes they have done. Okay. Similarly, uh, the next example is of Facebook and Domino's. So this was the recent security breach which was in news, and again you can see companies like Facebook and Domino's, their websites were also got hacked. Now these companies, they are not a very small companies or organizations, they are a very big organizations. Okay, I hope everybody knows about Facebook and Domino's, but they are also were not able to protect themselves from the various types of cyber attacks. And what has happened? So if I talk about Facebook and Domino's, in both the companies, they have faced a legal action over the data leak because they were not capable to protect their customers from or serve their data servers or networks from these types of cyber crimes, and because of that, they have to submit a huge amount of fine. And now after I talk about Domino's, what has happened with the Domino's? The name, location, mobile number of 18 crore users was shared, means the cyber attacker gained these data, and they that this particular data was on sale on dark web. Now again, there was Raj Shekhar Rajaria, who was a white hat hacker, or who was a ethical hacker, and he's a renowned cyber security professional. So he has exposed this particular information about Domino's and other Facebook. And so here we can see that since these big organizations, they are continuously doing various efforts so that they are always get protected with various types of cyber attacks. But again, they were unable to do so. Why this has happened? Because it is not possible for any company or organization to prevent every attack. Why? Because attackers will always find various ways so that they can gain access to the confidential data. Now, what can be the impact? What are the impacts if any type of security breach happens if with any particular company or organization? So here you can see like ruined reputation, that the reputation of that particular organization can be on stake. Then there is a theft, loss, data theft of confidential data. Then revenue lost. It's obvious that if any particular company faces a cyber attack, that its revenue is lost. Then damage to intellectual property. Then again vandalism. So what is vandalism? Vandalism is a very important term over here. Like for example, आप सभी ने सुना होगा बर्बरता. Now, what is barbarta? If somebody knows any weaknesses of yours, or if any cyber criminal knows any weaknesses of any particular individual or of any company or nation, so by knowing their weaknesses, they can do whatever crime they want to do at a certain level. They can cross the limits also. So that particular term is called as vandalism. So these are the impacts of a cyber crime or the impact of a security breach. And I just skipped this organizational data. Okay, now we all get to know about personal data. Now again, there are various types of organizational data, which organizations are having, and again, these data is very important for those organizations. So we should know about that also. So what is organizational data? So there are three types of data. First is traditional data. In traditional data, there are three types. First is personal, intellectual, and financial data. So what is personal data? So again, the companies or organizations, they are having all the documents related to their employees, like application materials, payrolls, offer letters, employee agreements, and all the related documents related to their employee. So again, it becomes their duty to safeguard all the documents of their employees. Then again, the organizations, they are having intellectual data. What is intellectual data? The patents, trademarks, product plans, all the documents related to the trade secrets. So these documents becomes this information or data becomes intellectual data. Then what is financial data? So the income statements means whatever the profit of that particular organization is, what is the turnover of that particular organization, what is the balance sheet, and what is the cash flow statements. All these documents becomes financial data of that particular organization. And these all three types of data comes under traditional data. So it becomes responsibility of the organizations to safeguard their three types of data. The next very important is the Internet of Things and big data. So first of all, we need to understand what is IoT, what is Internet of Things, and what is big data. So what is Internet of Things? It is a large network of physical objects which are having sensors and actuators embedded in their devices. So, and whatever the data they are transmitting, it is stored in the form of big data. So basically, I'll just give you a short example of IoT devices, like your smartwatch or your fitness tracker is a very small example of IoT device. Now, basically, that your fitness tracker or your smartwatch is a small IoT device. Why? Because it is having sensors and actuators embedded in that particular device. Because of that only they are able to gain the physical data, and that particular physical data, it is converted, and you can find that particular data in your mobile phones, and you can track your fitness. So these smartwatches, they comes under IoT devices. Now, what is the importance of these IoT devices? These IoT devices, they are connected over the internet 24 into 7, and they continuously transmit data, and that particular data is stored at some place. And again, we can see there are various types of examples, like for example, if we talk about cameras. So as of now, every company and organizations, they install various cameras. And your house also, for security purpose, we also installed camera at our homes. So it may happen like not audible. So other participants, please let me know that am I audible, clear and audible?
It is clear from our side, sir. Please go ahead. Yeah, you are
Okay,
audible.
okay. Thank you, Vijay. Vijay, I would request please go to a place where you get a good network signal. Okay. So this was, I was talking about cameras. So for safety reasons, in our houses also we installed cameras. So again, it may happen that since those cameras, they are connected over the internet, and if you are at some other location, so through your mobile phone, what you can do, you can access your cameras and you can check your security of your premises. But again, it may happen that since the cameras, the or whatever the data is being captured is over the internet, and it may happen a cyber criminal can get access to your cameras, and then again it may happen that your privacy may be compromised and you might not be knowing about that. So these were the things about various IoT devices. And again, for companies and organizations who are developing these particular IoT devices, it becomes a great challenge for them to safeguard all these IoT devices. Now again, I have a small video which is related to IoT devices and Internet of Things. So if you are interested to watch this particular video about IoT for your better knowledge and understanding, I will just show you. So, but please first let me know that if you want to see or not, and then I'll display.
Yeah, please play it, sir. Please play it.
Okay, okay. So just give me a minute, sir. I'm just playing this thing, playing the video. So again, guys, please watch this video carefully, and again, just let me know that what you understood after watching this video. Just a minute.
The Internet of Things, or IoT, is influencing our lifestyle from the way we react to
Yes, audible. Please play it, sir.
The Internet of Things, or IoT, is influencing our lifestyle from the way we react to the way we behave. From air conditioners that you can control with your smartphone, to smart cars providing the shortest route, or your smartwatch which is tracking your daily activities. IoT is a giant network of connected devices. These devices gather and share data about how they are used and the environment in which they are operated. It's all done using sensors. Sensors are embedded in every physical device. It can be your mobile phone, electrical appliances, vehicles, barcode sensors, traffic lights, and almost everything that you come across in day-to-day life. These sensors continuously emit data about the working state of the devices. But the important question is, how do they share this huge amount of data, and how do we put this data to our benefit? IoT provides a common platform for all these devices to dump their data, and a common language for all the devices to communicate with each other. Data is emitted from various sensors and sent to IoT platforms securely. IoT platform integrates the collected data from various sources. Further analytics is performed on the data, and valuable information is extracted as per requirement. Finally, the result is shared with other devices for better user experience, automation, and improving efficiency. Let us look at a scenario where IoT is doing wonders. In an AC manufacturing industry, both the manufacturing machine and the belt have sensors attached. They continuously send data regarding the machine health and the production specifics to the manufacturer to identify issues beforehand. A barcode is attached to each product before leaving the belt. It contains the product code, manufacturer details, special instructions, etc. The manufacturer uses this data to identify where the product was distributed and track the retailer's inventory. Hence, the manufacturer can make the product running out of stock available. Next, these products are packed and parceled to different retailers. Each retailer has a barcode reader to track the products coming from different manufacturers, manage inventory, check special instructions, and many more. The compressor of air conditioner has an embedded sensor that emits data regarding its health and temperature. This data is analyzed continuously, allowing the customer care to contact you for the repair work in time. This is just one of the million scenarios. We have smart appliances, smart cars, smart homes, smart cities, where IoT is redefining our lifestyle and transforming the way we interact with technologies. The future of IoT industry is huge. Business Insider Intelligence estimates that 24 billion IoT devices will be installed by 2020, and IDC predicts that IoT revenue will reach around 357 billion in 2019, resulting in a lot of job opportunities in the IT industry.
Okay, so I hope all the participants have watched this video and they might have got a better understanding about the topic Internet of Things. Okay, so meanwhile, I'm just sharing the PPT. If anybody wants to share their reflection, they can share. So, anybody sharing whatever you understood from this video? Okay, so let's move forward with the next topic, which is attackers and cyber security professionals. So Akila has shared something. Okay, Akila is saying that IoT is everything. In daily life, we live with IoT. Yes, very good understanding, Akila. Thank you for sharing your reflection. Great. So, if we talk about attackers and cyber security professionals, so it is a very simple scenario. Like we have the scenario of uh, police, and again there are thieves. Okay, and the purpose of thieves is to do various types of uh, criminal activities, and the purpose of police is to catch those thieves. Similarly, in the field of cyber security, there are attackers. There are different types of attackers like hackers, hacktivists. Then again there are various organizations who are the attackers, and to catch those hackers or cyber attackers there are cyber security professionals. So in the coming presentations we will be discussing about the different types of attackers and their profile. So here you can see the profile of a cyber attacker. So you can see over here, so there is a very big profile and classification of cyber attacker. Why? Because since these cyber attackers, they are highly skilled and highly knowledgeable, and because of that we can see there is a profile has been created of a cyber attacker. So basically the basic classification of a cyber attacker is of two types. First is the insiders and second is the outsiders. So the first category is the insiders, in which there comes an employees of any particular company or organization. There can be an ex-employee of any particular company or organization. Then again there may be a contract staff or trusted partners. Like for example, there are various big companies or organizations. They are running projects with any other small companies or organizations. So obvious that their employees, they might be coming to that particular organization. So why this particular insider category comes under a cyber attacker group? Because it may be possible that an employee or an ex-employee, they might be having some revenge or any bad institution for that particular company or organization. And again, in comparison to the outsiders, they are very harmful for that particular organization. Why? Because they are having direct access to the systems, network and servers of that particular organization, and by inserting any malicious pen drive or by sharing any confidential information to the third party, they can compromise the confidential data of their company or organization, and because of that they are very harmful and very dangerous for that company or organization, and because of that it comes under the category of insiders. Okay, so in comparison to outsiders, they are very harmful and dangerous. Then the second category is the outsiders, which is further classified into three types. So So in the outsider category, there are further divided into three types. First is the amateurs, second is the hackers, and the third category is the organized hackers. So if we talk about amateurs, who are the amateurs? So basically, they are the attackers. And if we talk about amateurs, the very basic definition of an amateur is they are the script kiddies with little or no skill. or what we can say that they use existing tools or instructions which are found online for attacks. Like, just for an example, I give a scenario. Like, for example, you are accessing your mobile phone or your laptop or system, and since you are accessing, and it might be having a password protection, but since you are accessing the laptop or desktop at that particular moment, your friend or your any particular relative comes at your place, and at that particular time you get some other work, and for that particular moment you go to other task, you perform other tasks for 10 to 15 minutes. So during that duration, it may be a possibility that your friend or your relative get access to your smart devices, smart gadgets, mobile phone or laptop, desktop, and during accessing they might get some confidential information. That can be a document, photo, video, document or audio file, and they can share that confidential information through any medium, like on through online, or they can get your data through any pen drive. And in future what they can do, they can blackmail you. So here what we are seeing, that it can be anybody who can gain access, but the main difference between an amateur is, in comparison to other attackers, is they are not at all skilled or they are not at all knowledgeable. They use the resources which are available either online or whatever the resources they find at particular moment. So they use those type of resources for doing an attack. But again, since they are not highly skilled or knowledgeable, at some point of time they get caught, and because of that, this particular category is called as amateurs. Okay. Now the second category is the hackers. So all the cyber criminals which are out there, they are basically the hackers. Now the basic definition and a basic property of a hacker is, any particular type of hacker, they have the knowledge and skills and the capability, so that they can break into the computers of or networks of any particular company, organization, or of an individual to gain access of them. Now once they gain the access, it depends upon their intuition or whatever their purpose is, and after gaining the access, depending upon the purpose, there is further classification which is classified into three types. First is the white hat hackers, second is the gray hat hackers, and the third is the black hat hackers. So you might have heard about white hat hackers. They are called as ethical hackers also, and they comes under cyber security professionals. They are not the cyber criminals. Why? Because any particular type of white hat hacker, they try to help any particular individual or organization in securing their network servers of that particular organization, which might have been affected by any cyber crime. So usually whenever a white hat hacker or a ethical hacker wants to access the network servers or systems of any particular organization, the first thing what they do is they first take the permission or from the owner or the whoever the head of that particular organization. And once they get the permission, then whatever the knowledge or skills they are having, through that they try to find out the weakness of any particular systems, or if somebody has hacked their systems. Okay. And why these white hat hackers are called as ethical hackers? Because whatever the activity they are doing, to catch the cyber criminal or to secure their organizations, they have to do those tasks in certain limits, like whatever the rules, regulations, policies laid out by their organization, or whatever the rules, regulations, policies which are laid out by the government, or whatever the NIST guidelines. So they have to do each and every task under those guidelines only, and they cannot cross their limits. So they are called as white hat hackers. Now the third category is the black hat hackers. So guys, please let me know if I am clear and audible, because I can see some of the participants, they are leaving. So in case you are having any questions or queries, please feel free to ask. Okay. Just a minute.
You are audible,
Just a
sir.
minute,
Please
guys.
carry on.
Yes,
Most of
yes.
them are
I'm
using
just
mobile phones, so some
okay, okay,
technical issues with mobile phones. They will rejoin again.
okay. So sir, just give me a minute. I'm just reconnecting with the Wi-Fi network. I'm
Okay.
disconnecting from the mobile hotspot. Okay. So this was the white hat hacker, which are also called as ethical hackers. Now the third is the black hat hackers. Guys, please let me know I'm audible. Sir, please let me know I'm audible now.
Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay. Now the third is the black hat hackers. Okay. So who are the black hat hackers? So basically the cyber criminals, or the attackers which are there outside, they are basically the black hat hackers. Now the main difference between a white hat hacker and a black hat hacker is the white hat hackers are the cyber security professionals, and these black hat hackers are the original cyber criminals. And since they are the black hat hackers, they and since they are the hackers, and the basic definition of a hacker is they can break in into any computers or networks of any particular company or nation or of an individual. Okay, and they will never take a permission. Since they are the criminals, any criminal won't take any permission before destroying them or accessing their confidential data. So these black hat hackers, they can take advantage of any type of vulnerability. So what is basically a vulnerability? Vulnerability is any type of weakness or a flaw in any particular system, network, or server. So first, black hat hackers find out that vulnerability, and by gaining the knowledge of that particular vulnerability, they create various softwares, programs through which they can get the access. And whatever their intention is, like for example, they want to do any illegal activity, and their purpose is to have any financial gain or any political gain. They do various types of cyber crimes. So that particular category is called as black hat hackers. Now the second category is the black hat hacker, gray hat hackers. So who are the gray hat hackers? So this particular category, it falls between white hat and black hat hackers, means this is the borderline. So who are the gray hat hackers and what is their purpose? So any type of hacker who is accessing any network servers of any particular organization, so just for the purpose of having fun and learning, they gain the access. Now it depends upon their intention, and if they want to help anybody, they will automatically fall in the category of white hat hackers. And if their intention is wrong, they want to commit any crime, they will fall in the category of black hat hackers. Then the last and very important category is the organized hackers. Who are the organized hackers? So again, there are various organizations of cyber criminals. Like for example, if there are two or more than two hackers, they form a small group of hackers. So they form a small group of cyber criminals or small organization. Similarly, there are activists. So this particular activist word has come from the word activist. Like in the during the time of freedom struggle, you might have heard about Krantikari, or activist. Why? Because they were having their own thoughts and their thinkings, and accordingly they follow their whatever their goal or their purpose is. Similarly, hacktivist is a small group of hackers who have their own thinking, own decisions, and accordingly whatever their thinking is or whatever their strategy is, they want to or whatever their goal is, they work for that particular goal. Whether it is fruitful for a particular organization or nation, and they doesn't think about that, and whatever their thinking is or whatever their purposes, they do things accordingly. Then again, there are various terrorist organizations. So you might have seen in various different movies, like in any particular terrorist organizations, there are highly skilled and knowledgeable individuals who are having a great knowledge. And so again, in terrorist organizations, you will find various types of hackers. Then again, there are state-sponsored hackers. So who are the state-sponsored hackers? So for example, we all know about India, Pakistan, the relations between India and Pakistan, India and China. So again, there are various security agencies like CBI, RAW, ISI. Then again, there are our defense organizations, Indian Army, Navy, Air Force. So every nation wants to gain the secret information of any other nation. So it may happen, or it may be a possibility, and it usually happens that Pakistani army or they are not able to gain the confidential information. So what they are doing, they are hiring a group of hackers. They are paying them a lot of money, like for example 20 crores, 50 crores, and what they are saying that we are giving you 20 crore rupees, we want this particular information from this particular organization. So what they are doing, they are hiring a group of hackers for achieving some confidential data. It may happen for any company also. Like for example, there are two companies, they are in the same competition, in the same production, and company A is at the top rank and in the top 10 list, and company B wants to come at that particular rank. So what company B is doing, they are hiring a group of hackers, and they are saying that share confidential data of that particular company A in social media, so that their reputation goes down, and automatically company B will come in the first place. So that particular group of hackers, they are called as state sponsored hackers. Then moving forward, again, see, there are different further classification of hackers, and they are further classified as red hat hackers, blue hat hackers, and gray hat hackers. But the main classification of hacker is the those three only: white hat, black hat, and blue hat hackers. Now, what are the red hat hackers? So here you can see a red hat hacker is a hacker who uses cyber attacks to attack black hat hackers. So we have seen that for catching the black hat hackers or for catching a cyber criminal, there are cyber security professionals and ethical hackers, and they are called as white hat hackers. So what these red hat hackers are doing? So at the starting, I have told you that the purpose or white hat hackers, they are called as ethical hackers. Why? Because they have certain limitations. They have to take the permissions, and they cannot break the rules, regulations, laws which are laid out by their organizations or government. So the only difference between red hat hacker is these red hat hackers, anyhow they want to catch the cyber criminal or the black hat hackers. For that, whatever the illegal things they have to do, they will do, or they will not follow the rules regulations of the police company or organizations. Their intentions are noble, but these hackers often take unethical or illegal routes to take down that particular black hat hacker, and because of that they are called as red hat hackers. Okay, then the next category is the blue hat hackers. So again, the hackers who want to seek personal revenge, the category which we have studied at the starting, insiders. Like for example, there is an employee, he might be having a revenge with his boss or with the organization. So any individual who is a hacker and whose intentions are only for the purpose of having revenge, and because of that they are doing various types of cyber crimes, they are called as blue hat hackers. Then the last category is the green hat hackers. So the newbies, or what we can say, the any particular individual who is in the phase of learning, hacking, they are called as green hat hackers. So I hope this particular types of hackers category is clear to all the participants. And the next topic is attackers, concepts, and techniques. So here we'll see what are the concepts, techniques which are used by cybersecurity criminals to gain access to various network, infrastructure, or servers of any particular company or organization. The first thing is security vulnerabilities and exploits. Here we will be seeing the two technical terms which are most commonly used in the field of cybersecurity: exploit and attack. But before that, what is vulnerability? So basically, what is vulnerability? So vulnerability is a flaw or weakness in a computer system, its security procedures, internal controls, design and implementation, which could be exploited to violate the system security policies. Another thing which we have discussed in the starting, that weakness, weakness related to any software, related to any hardware or any systems, or the any weaknesses in the network or server of any particular organization is termed as an vulnerability. So cyber criminals, how they will gain the access? So the first step before gaining the access is to find out a vulnerability. Once they get to know the vulnerability, accordingly they can move with the next steps. So again, there is a next term which is used, which is called as exploit. So what is an exploit? So basically, you have to understand this by an example. Like for example, there is a war which was going on between Ukraine and Russia. So anybody knows that whether this particular war is going on or it has been stopped?
Yeah, it is still going on.
Yes. So if we talk about the war which was going on between Ukraine and Russia, so these are the traditional wars which was happening. Traditional war means they are using the traditional weapons. Means if we talk about the resources or the weapons which they are using is the army itself. Then again, there are tanks, missiles which are being involved as a weapon for this particular war. Then again, if we talk about Kargil war, there were also it was a traditional weapon. Why? Because again there were army, infantry, then again there are missiles, bombs, guns which are used as a weapon. Then if we talk about nuclear war, nuclear war between America and Russia, in which there is a nuclear the cities Hiroshima and Nagasaki, in which nuclear weapon was used. So in comparison to this war, that was a nuclear war. So traditional war and nuclear war. Similarly, whenever a cyber criminal does any type of cyber attack, they need some sort of weapon. So here that particular weapon is termed as an exploit. Like for example, whatever the vulnerability or weaknesses they have find out, and then according to that vulnerability, that particular cyber attacker will with whatever the knowledge or skills they are having, they will create a software and buy different programs, different coding techniques, so that they can take the advantage of that particular known vulnerability. And that particular software which they have created or the weapon which they have created, it is termed as an exploit. Now how they are using that particular exploit against that vulnerability is termed as an attack. So the attack is the act of using an exploit against a known vulnerability. Then if I talk about different types of vulnerability, there are basically software vulnerabilities and hardware vulnerability. And again, since there were many software vulnerabilities some decades before, so what Google did, Google created a Project Zero, which was a team which is dedicated to find out various software vulnerabilities. Okay. Then the next topic over here is types of malwares. So I hope everybody knows about malwares. Basically, we were listening about viruses. But again, we have to keep in mind that virus is not a separate entity. It is one type of a malware. So basically, what are malwares? So these are the softwares which are intentionally designed by cyber criminals to cause any disruption to a computer server, client, computer network, so that they can leak the private information and can gain unauthorized access. So basically, what is the purpose of malwares? Malwares are used to steal the data, bypass access controls, cause harm, or to compromise a data. So again, depending upon the purpose, there are different types of malwares. Like for example, as you can see over here, spywares, adwares, bots, ransomware, scareware, rootkit, virus, Trojan horse, and worms. And again, there are multiple types of malwares. So if I talk about spyware, so from the word only you can understand, spying means tracking somebody, or in Hindi we can say jasusi karna. So this particular spyware, if it can installed in any particular system, of any particular very important person from politics or from defense, so whatever the activity they are doing in their laptop, whatever the key they are pressing, or whatever the websites they are visiting, it can be tracked by the cyber criminal, and because of that, it is termed as spywares. Similarly, there are adverts. So you might have experienced sometimes that you can see different types of advertisements getting popped up, and if you click on that try to close that particular ad, automatically a new website get opens. So you can understand that your system has been affected by adverts. Then again, there are bots which automatically perform various types of activities over the internet. Then again, there are ransomwares. So again, in movies, you might have seen that there is a kidnapping. There is a kidnapping of some VIP person, and if they want to release that particular person, they want a huge amount of money or a ransom, 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs. So similarly, if ransomware gets installed in any particular system, what happens? The user itself, being the owner of that particular system, server or network, they are unable to have the access of that. They holds the system or computers. And then the cyber attackers connects with that particular user and asks for a huge amount of money. And then only they will release that particular system. So sometimes there are very important officials, government officials, who are having very important secrets or important documents in their systems, and they doesn't able to get the access of that. So this particular process or the malware which is being used over here is called as ransomware. Similarly, scareware, मतलब किसी के डर का फायदा उठाना. So scareware, it persuades the users to take a specific action based on fear. Similarly, viruses. So the basic definition or the basic property of a virus is, and as we all know that there was a COVID virus. So the basic property of a virus is that it gets doubled every time. So these are the malicious executable codes that is attached to other executable files. There are Trojan horses. So any malware that misleads the user of its true intent, those malwares are called as Trojan horses. Like for example, we usually visit facebook.com. So the website is FACEBOOK. But in case you type FACEBOK, so again, this browser, they are having the feature that it autocorrects. But if it doesn't get auto-corrected, so you might visit a malicious or a fake website which has been created by a cyber attacker. So you can redirect yourself to a malicious website. So that particular thing is termed as Trojan horse, means that you are being misled by any true intent. Then there are worms which replicates themselves by independently exploiting the vulnerabilities in a network. The next is, what are the symptoms of malwares? So sometimes you see that your system is getting very slow, or you are getting disconnected multiple times over the internet. So how you could know that your system has been affected by different types of malwares? So here you can see there is an increase in CPU usage. Then there is a decrease in computer usage. Your computer often freezes or crashes often. Then there is a decrease in web browsing speed. Then there are unexplainable problems with the network connections. You can see that your files are getting modified, your files are getting deleted. Then there is a presence of unknown files programs on your desktop. There are unknown processes running. Then programmings are turning off or reconfiguring themselves. Email is being sent without users knowledge or consent. So if you see such sort of things which is happening in your systems, you can understand that your system is being affected by malwares. In that case, what you should do, you should always install antiviruses. Usually what happens whenever you purchase a system or laptop, you purchase antivirus for particularly 1 year or 3 years, and then you do not update. But we should not do that. We should always update our antiviruses. Okay. So again, for this particular practical, there is a practical related to task manager. I hope everybody knows about task manager, but since time is only limited, so I'm just telling you. You can see the task manager in which you can see the status of all the programs. And sometimes you will see that you only using 4 applications at a time, like browser or any particular document, or you are playing a video. So you are thinking that you are playing only 3 applications at the same time. But when you will see the task manager, you will explore the task manager, you will see that there are multiple background processes which are running at the background, which are consuming your CPU data and decreasing your speed. And so what you can do at that time, you can close the other background processes. Okay. So since we are at the end of the session, only 2-3 slides are left. So I would request all the participants, after 10 minutes at 12 p.m., all the participants please switch on your videos for attendance. And I will be sharing a feedback form link in the chat box also, and in the WhatsApp group also. And at particular time, I would request all the participants to please switch on your, please fill that particular feedback form. It is very important and crucial for us for improving our future training sessions. Okay. Now, the very important technique in the cyber attack is social engineering. So what is a social engineering technique? It is the manipulation of an individual into performing actions for divulging confidential information. So most of the time, whatever the real things which you have experienced, like you might have received a fake call, or you might have received a phishing message in your Gmail or in your inbox. These techniques are called as social engineering, in which the cyber criminal tries to manipulate you by taking your trust. So these techniques are called as social engineering techniques, like pretexting, tailgating. In pretexting, an attacker calls an individual and lies to them in attempt to gain the access. And in tailgating, what happens? An attacker follows an authorized person. And like for example, in movies you might have seen the cyber criminals, they gain access to the cameras. Then through the camera, they gain access to the authenticate person, who is entering the password or who is doing the unlock feature. And once they get that password, then they can get the access of the different types of lockers or whatever they want to gain the access. And so these different types of techniques, they are called as social engineering techniques. Okay. Then the last and I think the screen has stopped. Then the last and very important topic over here is SEO poisoning system, which is called as search engine optimization. So what is search engine optimization? So I hope you know about various types of search engines, like google.com, bing.com, yahoo.com. So usually what happens, we whenever we want some free softwares or free antiviruses or free songs or free drivers, what we usually do, we just mention free software or free sound driver, and whatever the website which comes at the first, we click on that particular website and we download that particular software. It may be a audio file, video file, or any application. So that particular thing is termed as search engine optimization. Like for example, if I ask who is your favorite celebrity, and once you search that particular celebrity in the search engine, which is the first website which you get, in which you get all the information related to that particular celebrity. So guys, please respond fast because we are running out of time. So first, name any particular celebrity and name the website which you get first in the list of various websites. So anybody please respond.
Mostly Wikipedia gives on the answers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your response. Thank you, Al-Shifa, for your response. Wikipedia. Okay. So, like for example, just please mention your favorite actor. Anybody, actor or actress. Vijay. Okay. So, for example, if you are searching Vijay in the Google search engine, so what you will see, you will see Wikipedia at the top 10 websites. Now, what is the reason that Wikipedia you are seeing in the top 10 list of websites? It may be a possibility that Vijay might be having his own website. Then again, there may be various social media platforms like Facebook account or Instagram account, and again, various news related to Vijay. But again, in comparison to those websites, the first or the website which top the list is the Wikipedia. Why? Because there are many reasons, but the common reason is because Wikipedia is the most visited websites, and the second reason is that Wikipedia is the only website which updates the information about any particular celebrity first, and because of that, it tops the list. Similarly, what happens if you search for any particular software? If you want to download any particular software, any application or any audio or song or any video, what happens? These cyber criminals, they first create malicious or fake websites, and if you search for that particular software, you redirect yourself to that particular fake website if you click on that particular link. And how does they rank that particular website higher? And by different techniques, by increasing the traffic to their malicious websites, then forcing that malicious site to rank higher. So obviously, if you see that particular top website at the top, you click on that particular link. Now, the moment you will click on that particular link, most of your information gets shared. In the starting, I have shown you the practical related to IP address. Similarly, if you have redirected yourself to that particular website, so the first step you have done. Then the secondly, if you download any software or any application from that particular website, like any audio file, so it may be a possibility that any particular malware gets also downloaded in your system, and through which your system might get affected. And again, it may be a possibility that a cyber attacker can again gain access to your systems or a network server of any particular company or organization. So that overall thing is termed as search engine optimization or SEO quasi. Okay, I think my screen has stopped sharing. So that was the last topic of this particular session. And now, next is how to become a cybersecurity specialist. And so, as of now, we are seeing that there are various types of cyber crimes which is happening all over the world, and because of that, for various IT companies, organizations, the requirement of cybersecurity professionals has been increased a lot, and it is in very demand. And the cybersecurity specialists, they are also giving a very good salary package. So to become a cybersecurity specialist, you must be able to respond to threats as soon as they occur. Means, what are the responsibilities of a cybersecurity professional? It means that the working of hours of a cybersecurity professional must be unconventional. Then cybersecurity specialists also analyze policies, trends, and intelligence to understand how cybercrime thinks, how cyber criminal thinks. Then many times this may involve large amount of detective work. And here is a good advice of becoming a cyber security specialist. Means you should always study. Cyber security is a field in which at every point of time you have to gain knowledge from all the resources whatever you gain. Means you have to be a lifelong learner. Then you should pursue industry certifications. See why these certifications are important. Because they give the authenticity that you are having knowledge and skill in that particular field. Because of that, industry certifications are very important, and because of that also, I would request all the participants, after this session, please do activate your account and please attempt that final exam and get your certificates. Okay, then you can also pursue your internships during your education time, and you can join any professional organization. Then last and most important, how to start a career in the field of cybersecurity and what are its prerequisites. Okay, so first you need to understand that cybersecurity is like a hierarchy, and it is not a single thing like cybersecurity professional, and it is like a hierarchy. Like for example, if I talk about a college, and how a college is made, so not just students and faculties makes a college. It requires a lot of things like a whole infrastructure. Then again, there are head of the departments. There are various. There is a library. Then again, there are various labs for doing different types of practicals. So all these things include and it becomes a college. Similarly, there are various subtypes of cybersecurity like web application security, then IoT security, the Internet of Things, then network security, Android security, and then again there are further domains which can be expanded. Now, the three things you should know if you want to start your career in the field of cybersecurity. So, the basic and very important thing is computer networking and all the technical terms related to computer networking. You should have knowledge about switches, routers, what are the subnets, and all the technical terms related to it. Then, if I talk about programming languages, so along with C, C++, Java, you should have knowledge about Python language. Then again, there are various operating systems, Windows XP, Windows 10. Along with that, for cybersecurity professional, knowledge of Kali Linux operating system is very essential. Then, what are the means job titles, job roles, and job description roles which are available, and what are their responsibilities? Okay, so see again, there are various types of profiles like security analysts, security engineers, security responders, security specialists, and again they have different job roles and different responsibilities. Like for example, if we talk about security analyst, their work is to plan and execute security measures for their organizations. There are security engineers who build IT security systems for the organizations. Then there are security responders who prevent and protect organizations against threats. There are vulnerability assessors who spot system vulnerability and create solutions for that. Then again, there are security administrators. You might have heard about network administrators whose responsibility is to keep the security systems running smoothly every day. And again, there are cryptographers who write tough to track codes which a hacker can't crack. Then again, there are security auditors. Okay. So that was all from my end, and I hope all the participants might have enjoyed this session and they might have learned. So this is that was all from my end. So now I would request all the participants to please share your learning experience. You can share a small feedback of this particular session, and meanwhile I'm just sharing a feedback form link in the chat box. So over to you, Vinay sir.
Thank you, sir. Have you shared the link, sir?
Yes,
Feedback
sir,
form?
I'm
Okay.
just sharing the link,
Okay.
and also I've shared the WhatsApp group link, and you can also share the link, sir, in the
Yeah.
with your students so that they can join the WhatsApp group. And again, I would request all the participants, please utilize this opportunity, which you have got, and as already told that. Uh, this course has been offered to you by Cisco, and Cisco on its own, it's a very big organization. So if you do this particular course, it will you can add it in your resume that you have done the cybersecurity certification from Cisco. So again, you will get various good job means good opportunities. Again, there are various things which is related to Cisco. Like usually, Cisco doesn't conduct placement at the means colleges, no, physical placements. They do virtual placements and they offer various internships to the students. But again, they are only for the students who are the part of a Cisco networking academy. And like for example, if you are accessing this particular course, you will automatically become a Cisco networking academy student. And so you will become eligible to apply for the various job roles for which are there offered by Cisco. And again, there are various campaigns. Like for example, this year only there was a campaign, Cisco Ideathon. So in Google, if you go for Cisco Ideathon, they have run a virtual internship program for the students of various academies, which are the academies of Cisco, and their students can participate in this that particular internship. And for this year, nearly 50,000 to 1 lakh students participated in this particular internship. And there was the criteria, like for example, the eligibility criteria. Like usually the companies have the eligibility criteria, like they must have no backlogs, and they must have an aggregate above 80 percentage. But again, Cisco has the criteria like all those participants who have done certifications. I'll just show the website of Cisco. And there are 32 plus courses which is offered by Cisco Networking Academy in the field of networking, like CCNA, Internet of Things, in the field of cybersecurity, in the field of operating system, IT essentials. Just a minute. So the second criteria is the all those participants who have done these courses, they are only eligible to register in that particular ideathon. Okay. Now again there are various processes, like there is a written examination and a technique in which they have to give the written exam, so that they can qualify for the first round, and then again there is a video submission round. So what has happened, and I'll just take you in short. So of that particular internship, out of 50,000 registrations, only 200 to 300 students get selected for doing that particular internship, which at Cisco Bangalore, and they were offered a stipend of rupees 40 to 60,000 during that internship period, and the duration of that particular internship was of 6 months. Now, what was the benefit of that internship? All those 200 to 300 students which got selected in that internship, they 100 or means they get the opportunity to become an employee in that particular organization, Cisco. Means all the 200 students, they means Cisco onboard all the students which are selected in the internship period. And the very important thing is, all those students, the starting package varies from rupees 12 lakhs per annum to 24 lakhs per annum, according to the knowledge which they have showcased during the internship period. Okay. So that was just the information which I want to give. And to tell you about so that you understand the importance of this particular means session or the course which you have got the access. And over here you can see, and like introduction to cybersecurity is a very beginner level course, and you can see beginning. And there are other higher end and intermediate courses, and like for example cyber ops associate, and like for example if you want to do this particular cyber ops associate course, it is an instructor led course and it will take around 30 days to complete this particular course. And again, so I would request all the participants to activate your Cisco NetAcad account, and means complete your final exams and of course feedback, and all the participants get your certificates. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So again, best of luck, all the participants who have joined this session, and I wish all the participants best of luck for your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And I
Thank
would
you very
request,
much.
please do fill the feedback form. I will also be sharing the feedback form in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, yeah. I copied it. I will
Yes, sir.
share it in the WhatsApp group
Sir,
as
you are
well.
muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I'm audible now. I have copied the link. I will share the same in the WhatsApp groups anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, and thank you
So
very
if
much.
any participants want to share your learning experience or feedback of this session, please feel free to share.
Yeah.
Or sir, if you want to share, you can also share.
Yeah, we'll share it definitely. And thank you for sharing your profound knowledge with us, and thank you for sparing your valuable time with us. And you have given a good initiative, and which helps our students to be more vigilant while using all these platforms. As without going wrong, you use them very wisely than using very annoying things, not to share any annoying things or select any annoying things. And thank you very much, sir. Now I will take this session to the interactive session with the students. I can see Sharmila Sharmi got a hand raise. If she want to speak, you can unmute and you can have a word with the speaker. You can express your doubts.
Yes, if you have any questions or queries related to account activation process or the course content which we have covered, please feel free to ask.
Yeah. Anyone, if you are having any doubts, you can either chat in the chat box or you can raise your hand and you can speak out.
So just I want to share a feedback. During the interaction, I found that very few students, I think Ishwara was a student who was participating. So I would recommend and suggest that please don't get fear. You should gain confidence, because as of now you are students, and after some time you will be working for any particular organization. So whatever thoughts or whatever thinking you must have, you should try to speak, and because of that you will gain confidence. And it's very important that whatever thoughts or thinking you are having, you try to share. Okay. So never be get feared with anything. Okay.
So, without vote of thanks, no webinar is finished. So now I'd like to welcome Selva Preeti from MFOM. to present vote of thanks, please. Selva Preeti, over to you.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. We come to the end of the progressive session. This is my privilege to present vote of thanks today. First, I thank Dr. M. Karnanidhi, Chairman and Secretary of Vivekananda Educational Institution, for giving us this opportunity to have this session. I extend my deep regards to Dr. G. Muruganandan, Principal, Swami Vivekananda College of Pharmacy, for continuous encouragement and motivation. I love to thank Dr. P. Manimegalai, Head Department of Pharmacology, for organizing today's event to gain new knowledge. We greatly thank our today's resource person, Mr. Sushit Soni, for providing this valuable time and knowledge, which provide a great awareness on cybersecurity. Now, we are confident on how to protect ourselves from phishing messages and emails. Thank you, sir. I thank all the teaching staffs of Swami Vivekananda College of Pharmacy for your participation and continuous support. Finally, very importantly, I thank all the student participants for sparing your valuable time and making this program a grand success. Thank you all. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing your reflection. Thank you very much. So,
I
sir,
hope.
I would request if we can take a small picture if all the students
Yeah, I
can
think they are
switch
trying
on
to
their.
switch on the videos, but some network issue is obstructing them
Okay,
from Cisco, and I think they are unable to switch on their videos. Most of them are
okay,
trying.
okay, sir. No issues, no issues.
Yeah. So hopefully you will get a good feedback through the forms because where they can express more. Yeah,
Sure, sir, sure,
yeah,
sir.
let us see. So thank you, sir. Thank you for your time and thank you for the program. And we will pass on the word of mouth. We will pass on this message. So we are a group of institutions where we got the IT and where we got the arts and science. So hopefully you will get one more session from our institutions.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
So
very much.
thank you, Vinay, sir,
Yeah.
for coordinating with me and
Uh,
making this particular training session
Thank you.
successful.
Hope to see you
And I would
again.
request all the participants to please start activating your account.
Uh,
Please give the final exams because as of now, the knowledge you have received is fresh up on your mind. So it will be very easy for you to attempt the final exam. And after attempting the final exam, you can download your certificates. And if you feel, if you want to share in your LinkedIn platform, you can share. So thank you, Vinay sir, Babu,
Thank you.
and each and every participant for joining this session. I again wish every participants best of luck for your future endeavors. Bye bye. Take
Thank
care.
you, sir.